y'all subscribe to the Last Ones at the Bar Boxing channel, man. We got some boxing fans out there.
Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And this is Lavell with Last Ones at the Bar. Now I'm going to give you my take on the upcoming Manny Pacquiao versus Errol the True Spence. And this fight is going to happen on August the 6th. If you haven't heard my partner in crime, Will's, if you haven't heard his take on this fight, please check it out. He did a great job of breaking down what probably is going to happen in this fight. I agree with a lot of his points, and he gave me a lot to think about. So please check that out. But I'm going to give you my take on this fight. Now, when this fight was announced, I almost fell out of my chair. If I was drinking coffee, I probably would have choked on it or spilled it and burnt myself. But we'll get to that later. What I think is going to happen in this fight is going to come down to two things. It will come down to how much Pacquiao has left, and it will come down to how Errol Spence decides to fight this fight. Now, let's look at how much Pacquiao has left. He's been out of the ring 2 years. For a guy who fights below middleweight, and especially when he's 42, that could be kind of a bad thing, but it can also be a good thing as he has some time to rest. And plus, he's not the type of fighter to walk around, overweight between fights, and he doesn't treat fight camp as a weight loss camp. I think fight camp would be more so suited towards getting into condition to fight someone like Errol Spence and working on strategy. But still, 2 years is a long time to be out of the ring, to not get hit in the face, and to come back without a tune-up and fighting Errol Spence, which is a crazy challenge. So props to my hats off to Manny Pacquiao for taking this fight. And I think it may play into what happens in this fight because Errol Spence, he always has a full tank of gas. He trains hard. When he gets in that ring, he's always there and energetic, and he throws lots of punches. So Pacquiao will need every bit of stamina he has left. Now, it's going to come down to number two, how Errol Spence decides to fight this fight. Now, Errol Spence, he can win this fight two ways, but I think one way will give him a lot of trouble, and that's by playing the bigger guy and trying to bully Pacquiao. If we know anything in history of what we've seen from Manny Pacquiao, he doesn't have a lot of trouble with guys that are bigger than him who try to bully him. The only time he had a little bit of trouble was with Jeff Horn. But still, in my opinion, he won against Jeff Horn. But we saw his age a little bit. Now, Spence can really have his moments in this fight if he decides to bully Pacquiao. He's a phenomenal body puncher. But also, I think it will produce some great exchanges and open him up to be caught a bit. And where a lot of fighters make mistakes is thinking that Pacquiao is a smaller fighter. And the late, great Nassim Richardson, he made a great point that Pacquiao is not always the smaller fighter. He's just a shorter fighter. Now, while he stays on point when it comes to weight, when you look at his attributes like his wrists, his ankles, and his legs, some of his attributes are attributes that are the size of some heavyweights, and I think that's how he generates a lot of his power. And a lot of guys are caught off guard by how strong Pacquiao is once they get in the ring with him. And I think Spence is probably going to test that. And this could lure him into these exchanges where he could possibly even get hurt. Not get hurt where he gets stopped, but get hurt, and it can make this fight interesting. And Pacquiao can win some rounds doing that because Pacquiao still has that speed. He's not exactly a slow fighter unless he's just, totally shot. Now, Spence can win this fight easy simply by using his length and just boxing just like Floyd Mayweather did. Now, granted, Floyd Mayweather is a phenomenal boxer and one of a lifetime talent, but Spence has a lot of length. He has some movement. He can box. He can make this fight a little bit easier by just, staying on his toes and playing the taller, longer fighter and making Pacquiao come to him. And once Pacquiao has those moments where he lays on the ropes and he's tiring himself out a little bit, that's when Errol Spence has his moments where he can be the bigger man and go to the body because he's a phenomenal body puncher and possibly hurt Pacquiao and even stop him if he gets those chances. But that depends on him being patient and not trying to be the bigger fighter and try to bull rush Pacquiao, because that's what's going to get him caught and possibly get him hurt. Now, I think Spence is more likely to try to bully Pacquiao early, and I think that's when he's going to learn that Pacquiao can hurt him. But I think that Spence is smart enough that he can make those adjustments, and he's going to make those adjustments by the 6th or 7th round, and I think he's going to do a pretty good down the stretch, and that's where he's going to outbox Pacquiao, pretty much probably hurt him in some exchanges, but I don't think he's going to stop Pacquiao. I think Pacquiao's ring savvy and his movements is going to do him justice through this fight, and he's going to do pretty good down the stretch where he can stay in this fight. And also, back to this fight being signed, I think Freddie Roach never would sign for this fight unless he think that Pacquiao has a chance or think that Pacquiao has something that could trouble with Spence. He always said that when he thinks that Pacquiao has no more left in him, he won't train Pacquiao and he'll tell him to retire. So I do think that Pacquiao has something left, and Freddie Roach sees something that he can exploit in Spence. How that plays out, I don't know, but I do think that means that Pacquiao should have enough that he can keep from getting stopped in this fight. Now, I'm very excited about this fight. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. What do you think? And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. We're the last ones at the bar. Just check us out. And I'm out. Tell me your thoughts. Peace.